Hey there, welcome back. All right, so we just got done doing some author interviews with Mark Graban. So Mark, thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
And what we're going to do here is just going to do a short video. Mark is a senior officer. I don't know your appropriate title or whatever, but at KaiNexus.
KaiNexus, the VP of Customer Success.
Okay, all right.
Is my title.
Okay, and so basically what we want to do in this video is just talk a little bit about what KaiNexus is, and so if you are interested in learning about just at a high level, just like a 30-second blip, what is it? What is KaiNexus? And then we'll kind of dig into it a little bit more, just to get people watching and understanding what this video is about.
Yeah, so KaiNexus is a technology company. It was founded, we've been on the market for about 3.5 years. It was founded before that. But we're primarily a web-based system that organizations use to help facilitate and track and manage their improvement and innovation activity. And so we have customers in different industries using our platform in the context of lean, continuous improvement, Lean Sigma, other methodologies, and having it be their home where everyone has visibility to their improvement work.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the history. So obviously the founder, Dr. Greg Jacobson, is a doctor, right?
An MD, not a PhD, an MD.
Yeah, so just give us a quick background on how this whole thing started.
Yeah, so we have two co-founders, Dr. Greg Jacobson and Matt Palulis. So Matt is our Chief Technology Officer.
I didn't realize Matt was one of the
he's one of the two. He's one of the two co-founders. But Matt and Greg were college roommates, and
I didn't know that.
Long story short, ended up deciding to work together on KaiNexus. So Greg had been a resident and then a faculty member at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. After medical school at Baylor here in Texas. Greg is from San Antonio originally, so we're very Texas-y. And they were doing work with continuous improvement. Greg had to do a project as part of his residency, or I think it was actually as a faculty member, and he chose continuous improvement as a research area, but in a practical sense, to create a continuous improvement program. So he did that based off of the book Kaizen, by Masaki Imai, his department chair in emergency medicine, said, "Here, Greg, read this." And they developed internally a web-based intranet system that they used to manage and track their ideas. And it was very useful, and like a lot of universities, Vanderbilt has a entrepreneurship, technology commercialization program to bring technologies to market and start companies. And so that's what launched KaiNexus as a company to move beyond Vanderbilt to originally a lot of other health systems as customers. And now today we have customers in areas as wide-ranging as a couple of manufacturing companies, an architecture firm, a fresh produce distribution company, a trucking and logistics company. And so whether it's doctors and nurses in an emergency room or truck drivers and mechanics interacting through their phones and computers, all focused on continuous improvement, that's the role our technology plays today.
So, many of us in the continuous improvement world are familiar with the traditional suggestion box. The little box over in the corner might have a lock on it, a little slit in the top.
It almost always has a lock on it.
It always has a lock on it, and you write your idea on there, and you wonder if anyone is ever going to read it, and then you drop it in there.
Because usually no one does.
Right. So that's kind of the old school way that people used to share ideas or attempt to share ideas. And as we all know, they very rarely, if ever, work.
Right.
So what's different about KaiNexus?
Right. So KaiNexus is built upon these Kaizen principles and Kaizen practices. So there are electronic suggestion box systems on the market, and they have about the same results as you get with a paper suggestion box. Even the federal government had a program where they got some like 80,000 ideas or suggestions from people in the executive branch of the federal government, and they implemented just a couple dozen of those ideas. And so people get discouraged, people get frustrated, ideas are being made by far off committees. And so with KaiNexus, the focus is on implementing a very high percentage of your ideas, like you would see in Kaizen. So instead of 2 to 3%, we have some of our customers implementing more than 80, 85% of their ideas.
So why is that? What's different?
Well, so a lot of it is because we're not asking people to come up with big $1 million ideas. We're asking them to identify problems, both small and large, that are within their local team or within their value stream. Most of these things are addressed within the local team or within interactions with their supervisor and people on their shift or other shifts or an adjacent department. Some ideas might need to get escalated up to a higher level process or become a rapid improvement event, or people might do an A3 or something bigger and broader. Some ideas might require going out and spending money, but a lot of it is based on just good, solid, continuous process improvement practices. Lots of little ideas having a big impact, or we see sometimes a little idea has a really big, shockingly, surprisingly big impact. And so one of the things our system does is easily allows people to not just create a repository of what's happened, but to talk about qualitative and quantitative benefits. So we see data from our customers about quality and safety improvement, and then some things are easier to put in the dollar terms, like cost savings, revenue increase, time savings for staff. And so the system, it's built on a lot of kind of simple, easy communication back and forth. We're not batching things up and sending it all up the chain. People are getting email notifications on a daily basis. One lesson that Greg would talk about if he was here is that early on they were sending way too many emails out of their system at Vanderbilt. And so like LinkedIn or a lot of other online systems, you get a daily digest. Now there might be times where you choose to send a more immediate notification, but the general workflow is that somebody would have an idea or find a problem, put it into the system, their supervisor is going to get notified, and within a day or two, the expectation is that they'd come talk about it face-to-face and then put some notes in the system, or if they work on different shifts and don't see each other a lot, as happens in healthcare, that feedback from the supervisor might come electronically, then you might assign it, form a little team of people, they can start sharing data, before and after pictures. They can do that electronically while they're implementing and testing ideas. And then KaiNexus can be used to kind of broadcast and document and quantify the results once they're done with the improvement. So it's about the behaviors. And that we encourage people to use in conjunction with the system.
Now, in your books, Lean Hospital, Healthcare Kaizen, you do talk about, and I've been to some of your workshops where you kind of teach a method with a whiteboard and some cards and whatnot, and can be wildly effective when you're doing that. But how does KaiNexus kind of take that approach, which is far better than dropping it into a locked box, right? But how does your software kind of improve on that method even?
Well, so the great thing about an idea board or a team huddle board is that it's visual, it's transparent, it's simple. But the problems people run into with boards is when you've got a large organization with multiple sites or even multiple shifts within a large team or a large department. The web and iPads and computer screens are everywhere. And a lot of times in healthcare, people are almost always in front of a computer screen. So there's times...
For good or for bad. Right?
For good or for bad, but that's where they are a lot of the time, where there's always a computer right there. That it's easier, it's more visible and more transparent to have it on a computer screen than it would be on a hallway that they don't have time to go and walk to. Now again, maybe...
or it's in a different building.
Or it's in a different building.
State.
Well, even if you have a lot of local individual boards, the things our customers have struggled with and have led them to use KaiNexus is that you might have lots of great local improvement being facilitated by boards, but then the organization finds it difficult to share and spread good ideas. You have local visibility, but you don't have global visibility throughout the organization. Or senior leadership says, we know there's a lot of improvement happening and our hospital system has 300 boards in different departments now, but I've got no clue about what the benefits are. And so it's important to engage people, but at the same time, organizations have goals and things they need to accomplish, and our software can help people see that at different levels. And I think that's an important part of providing recognition and reinforcing why Kaizen is important. And so the more changes you help people implement, the more they're going to do. The faster you implement things, the more they're going to do. And we have customers that we're doing a lot of great Kaizen work without software. And so when they've added the software, they're implementing a higher percentage of them, and they're implementing them more quickly, and it's easier to to spread and share the ideas and easier to add up the benefits.
Yeah.
So in a lot of these circumstances, large complex organizations, even we have a manufacturing customer with sites in Oregon and the Philippines. So they're able to better share and collaborate.
I suppose you could get a whiteboard up with Post-it notes and then get a little webcam and then stream it back.
There would be, there are different ways to solve different problems. But thankfully, our KaiNexus customers have been happy with our technology. Any technology's got to solve a problem and support people in their process. That's good lean thinking. And we're the first to realize that it requires. We always talk about three things. It requires a methodology. You can't just tell everyone, hey, go improve. You might get a little bit of improvement, but you got to give people direction. It requires leadership, and it requires some type of supporting technology, whether that technology is a whiteboard or a professional enterprise web-based technology system. And thankfully, a lot of people are saying that yes, KaiNexus is helping them.
Well, even Gemba Academy's in that realm, right? Where technology, right? They're watching this because of technology. So.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So who would you say your ideal customers are, Mark?
Well, I think we're finding the ideal customers are organizations that are large, multi-site organizations where they run into problems that you would have with visual boards and local tracking. Organizations that have some comfort level with technology. Sure. People are already using technology on a daily basis. They have email, they have logins to the system. But we've seen it really has less to do with the industry and just more to do, I think the best customers for us are organizations that have a methodology and leadership and are driving to use the system. If you're not doing improvement work, you don't need a system to track that improvement work.
The system's not going to create this lean culture, right?
No, it's an enabling technology. It's a facilitating technology. I don't run marathons, so I'm not going to go spend money on an iPhone or iPad app to track my running that I don't do. Right. And buying an app probably wouldn't magically make me run because I hate to run and I have bad knees. And I'm going to have a list of excuses, kind of like sometimes people have excuses about why they don't improve. But I think KaiNexus. In these 3.5 years that we've been on the broader market at this point, people are using it. They're getting benefits. They're reporting those benefits, and it's exciting to see. We're almost at the point of almost $30 million in financial impact that our customers have implemented and tracked and self-reported. And a lot of times this is getting validated by their finance teams. That's one of the functions in our system where you wouldn't get away. Money. You can't claim funny money without unreal savings without it being flagged and kind of automatically going to finance to help validate. Did you really generate? One of our customers had a really small improvement that was generating $2.5 million in additional pharmacy revenue every year because patients, instead of going to outside pharmacies, were utilizing their in-house pharmacy. So somebody's going to want to double check those numbers and make sure that is legitimate financial impact.
So how can people learn more about KaiNexus, Mark? What's the best thing?
Well, I think the first way is through the website, KaiNexus.com. We've got a lot of videos. People can see a recorded demo and read about the system and how people are using the system. But then, of course, they can always reach out and talk to the people of KaiNexus, and the website hopefully makes it pretty easy to see how to reach out and get some sort of discussion scheduled so we can talk to you.
Fantastic. All right. Well, keep up the good work.
Yeah, well, thanks. And likewise here at Gemba Academy. We appreciate it. Thanks.